This is breaking news from Johor, Malaysia, where a 9-year-old boy allegedly driven by hallucinations after his 6-year-old brother damaged his phone and wiped out over 1 million Robux points in the game Roblox. So the 9-year-old boy then took a sharp object and actually struck out at his younger brother, causing severe injuries to his younger brother's neck and body. The mother woke up and found her younger son wounded and rushed him for medical attention. The 6-year-old boy is now stable post-surgery and the case is under investigation under Section 326 of the Penal Code for causing grievous hurt with a dangerous item, with both parents detained until October 30th, 2025, and both boys are currently under Johor Social Welfare Department care. Now, for a bit of context, the 9-year-old boy was deeply engrossed in his Roblox game. This is a very popular online game platform with over 200 million monthly active users globally, where players can create and play games and using a virtual currency called Robux. So his younger brother accidentally damaged his phone and wiped out over 1 million Robux points. 1 million Robux points is roughly equivalent to 14,700 Malaysian ringgit or $3,500 US. Though these Robux points are typically non-redeemable for cash by regular players, there are ways such as using a DevX account. But mainly, this case highlights the risk of gaming addiction and mental health issues in young children. This 9-year-old boy reportedly experienced hallucinations telling him to take actions against his family, his younger brother, because the younger brother accidentally wiped his Robux points, which is over 1 million. Now, the 6-year-old boy has underwent surgery and is now in stable condition, receiving treatment in the hospital. Police were notified and the case was reported on October 29, 2025 following preliminary investigations. Investigations are still ongoing and further statements will be taken from the younger brother after he is more medically stable. Okay, we're still in Malaysia where we finally have an update on the story that we covered before, when a 16-year-old Chinese male student was actually subject to after an eye examination in school, and he was alone in class reading, and then he was by 3 to 4 classmates, which escalated into a case where he was diagnosed with concussion and injuries to the eyes, and he experienced bruising, fainting and vomiting after the incident. So now, the defendants are two 15-year-old male classmates. Both have pleaded guilty when first charged on 13 August, and now sentencing has been delivered on 28 October in Sungai Petani. They have both been sentenced to a 2-year good behavioural bond. Both defendants must report monthly to the welfare department. I think this is a good step in the right way. Let children know, FAFO, fool around and find out. There are consequences for your actions. Don't just think just because you are a minor, there are no consequences. Alright, Amazon has begun layoffs in 2025, cutting around 14,000 jobs, potentially up to 30,000 jobs across corporate divisions including AWS, operations, devices and HR, making this the company's largest workforce reduction since 2022's 27,000 job cuts. Layoffs started October 28, 2025, US time zone, and these cuts are addressing pandemic overhiring, reducing bureaucracy, integrating AI for efficiency, and enforce back-to-office mandates. Yeah, I know. So basically, corporates prefer their workers to be in the office, while employees, mostly prefer work at home. And also, corporates, big, small, large conglomerates are all incorporating AI. And when you incorporate AI into your workflow, that would mean less staff needed. Wow, so after Amazon, who's next for some AI restructuring? So Project Bro has just been focusing on a big project in his company for the past 2 weeks, so he has been coming home late. But a woman in Anhui is accusing Project Bro of infidelity. So she is thinking that Project Bro is coming home late because he's been having some sort of nighttime adventures with other people. And her evidence is actually based solely on a 500 yuan, roughly $70 US, online fortune telling session. Yes, this story is literally popping off in China right now, okay? So the accuser is an unnamed woman from Anhui and the poor victim is her husband, Project Bro. The woman grew suspicious of Project Bro because he often did overtime work. She didn't believe him, so while browsing, short videos, doom scrolling, she saw an advertisement for a so-called 八字 marriage compatibility and fate calculation. Sounds very mystifying. She added the fortune teller on a messaging app and paid 500 yuan, roughly $70 USD for a reading. And the fortune teller requested both spouses' birth details and claimed that the husband was involved. For a Chinese word, it's called 烂桃花. It means rotten peach blossoms, and this likely involved improper relationships. So maybe the husband is engaging in exciting adventures and not exactly engaging in overtime work. And the fortune teller insisted the husband had committed infidelity, which the poor wife, the accuser, believed completely. Now, Project Bro here is really staying overtime in his company for 2 consecutive weeks because of a major project. And he has verifiable attendance records and colleagues' testimonies to confirm his location. Despite this, the accuser, his wife, does not believe him, continues accusing him. Project Bro is about to have a mental breakdown right here. Unable to endure the situation, his last resort is reporting the matter to the police, the authorities, stating that his marriage has become unbearable. Now, police officers kindly conducted like a informal investigations, verifying the husband's travel and spending records and found no irregularities. Also, no evidence supported the allegations of so-called nighttime adventures or infidelity. Now, the police confirmed the accusation stems solely from superstition and online fraud, the online fraud being the fortune teller. Officers criticized the wife's reliance on fortune telling and have mediated reconciliations between the couple. All wells and wells, at least now the wife admitted her mistake and recognized the harm caused by her gullibility. A tragic incident happened in South Korea this month when a fire caused by the suspect being a woman who was trying to catch a cockroach at her home in the 2nd floor of a 5-story mixed building. The woman tried using pain relief spray and a lighter acting as a mini flamethrower to catch this cockroach and cause the fire. The woman then tried using fire extinguisher to extinguish the fire but failed. This fire resulted in 1 person being unalive and 8 others being injured. The woman has now been arrested on charges of gross negligence resulting in death and accidental arson. This incident occurred on October 20th, 2025 around 5:35 AM at the 2nd floor of a 5-story mixed-use building in Gyeonggi Province, South Korea. Once again, the suspect mentioned that she has seen this method on social media and she had tried it before to catch insects. However, she failed to control the flame these times and was unable to extinguish it, causing the fire to spread. As the fire broke out, she then called emergency services, and at 5:44 AM, fire authorities issued a level 1 response, and the fire was completely extinguished around 6:20 AM, approximately 40 minutes after it started. During this time, 14 residents evacuated on their own from their building. However, during evacuation, a woman in her 30s, a Chinese national woman who just gave birth 2 months before, got into an accident during evacuation, which led to her demise. So this building itself is in a close proximity with other buildings, and this woman, as she was trying to evacuate with her 2-month-old baby and her husband, she opened her window and called out for help to an adjacent building. A resident in an adjacent building then opened the window, which is less than 1 meter away, and the woman, the victim, passed her 2-month-old baby to a resident in the adjacent building. Her husband then climbed out of their own window and into the adjacent building, following by the mother, who also tried to climb across to the adjacent building. However, she fell here, causing severe injuries, and was rushed to the hospital where she sadly succumbed to her injuries at around 10:40 AM. Police have now concluded the fire was caused by the suspect's attempt to catch a cockroach using a lighter and a pain relief spray like a flamethrower. And they also claim that the suspect was shocked and distressed to learn about the passing of the victim, the Chinese national woman, a mother in her 30s who just given birth 2 months prior. Investigations are still ongoing to determine the full circumstances of the incident. Okay, this is breaking news in Singapore. 12 Cupcakes has just ceased operations as of October 29, 2025. October 29, 2025 was the last day of operations for 12 Cupcakes, and they were also placed under provisional liquidation effective the same day. They have a message on their website thanking customers and apologies for the inconvenience. However, today, 30th October, if you do a search on Google, many outlets are still listed as being open. Now, approximately 80 workers were impacted by the sudden closure, and the Food, Drinks and Allied Workers Union, FDAWU, have stated that 12 Cupcakes did not inform the union or workers ahead of time, and the union is providing support and guidance to affected workers right now, calling upon the appointed liquidator to, assist in claims of any retrenchment benefits or payments to affected workers. This is really shocking because I am a customer of 12 Cupcakes and I frequently purchase from them, several times a year. And is the F&B industry really in such a tight spot right now? This is 12 Cupcakes we're talking about, a local homegrown brand that we all love, though quite expensive, but what isn't pricey these days? Artificial human teeth and human teeth too have been appearing in food all over China. When a woman bought a sausage at an outdoor stall for her child and discovered a row of 3 artificial human teeth inside the sausage. A woman now reported that her father bought dim sum from Sanjing Soup Dumplings branch, and her father actually discovered not artificial but 2 real human teeth in the dim sum. Real human teeth and artificial human teeth. What's going on over there?